We have discussed many things in MySQL, and earlier I discussed how to create a table, how to create the database, and in previous practicals or in last practicals, you must have noticed that I have created a table many times, and I have deleted the table many times as well. And this time I'm going to tell you how to insert the data into a table. So there is a complete syntax to insert the data into a table, and insert is the DML, that is data manipulation command, which lets the user to put the data into the table. So we're going to discuss first, then we'll move to hands-on. So insert is a command in MySQL which lets a user to put the data into a table. This is the definition. And what is the syntax of insert? So if you see the syntax, you'll notice that insert into, then then you have to mention the table name. Insert into whichever table name is, you will have to mention here. For example, XYZ is my table or student is my table, then you will have to say insert into student. And here uh, the values, some values are given in the square brackets. These are optional. Whatever is given the square brackets is the entry which is optional. So over here I have included field 1, field 2 in the parenthesis, and parenthesis is within the square brackets, means I can omit this portion. So this portion is optional. If you want to give, you can give, otherwise you can leave. But if you use, then you will have to mention the values corresponding to these fields. Field 1, this is item 1, this item 1 is corresponding to the field 1, comma field 2, and this item 2 is the value which corresponds field 2. So depends, are you using a field list or not? So if you are using, then you will have to mention the data items in corresponding sequence. Otherwise, if you omit this, then you will have to use the second option, that is insert into table values, and all the values corresponding to the structure which you have created while creating the table. So this you should keep in mind that the order of the values or items should be as per uh, the order of the fields or the attributes you have created into the table. So there are two statements. So these two statements are enough to insert the values into the table. And the third method is also there, which we will discuss later. And using that method, we'll use the complete data, store that data into a text file, and that text file data will be copied to MySQL, so that the data is directly inserted into the table. So this we'll discuss later. Right now, I'm going to discuss the next command, that is the select command. This is also a DML command. What does it do? Select is the command in MySQL which lets a user to select the columns of the rows. So if there are two rows you are going to select, so which column you want to select, which column or columns you want to select. So columns of the rows from the table. Suppose there are two rows and you want to select only two columns, whichever columns you want, you can mention it, and those rows means two rows of that table you are going to select. So this way select function works. And the next select is with the wildcard. Wildcard is nothing but a single character. So in the first statement, In select statement, you have to mention the columns, column 1, column 2, column 3 from the table. Accordingly, rows are selected. And if you use select with wildcard, means in this case, if you user can mention columns to be selected from table separated by comma, say column 1, column 2, column 3, but in place of comma, a user can use an asterisk to select all the columns of the table. If you use asterisk sign, it means all the columns of the table you want to select. So this way we work to insert the data into the table. So just have a look on hands-on. So now this is a table, and over here there is no table in which I want to select, I want to insert the data. So I'm going to create a new table. Say table name is employee. Create table, say employee, and the field list. First, I'm taking employee number, which is of type integer, and I said not null, and making this the primary key. So this is a constant, and constant we have already discussed. And if you have forgotten the constants, kindly refer the videos which I have created for constants. And the next field is amp name, which should be of type character. Character maybe 25, and again not null, comma, since statement is going to be bigger, and that is why I am using enter key here. And so as soon as you enter without putting semicolon in the end, it gives the arrow key in the next line, and you can continue the previous statement in the next line. So after null, I am going to give the designation of the employee, that is character 25. Again, this is not null, and in addition I am going to take date of joining of type date, is again not null. Gender, whether male or female, gender character 1, and I am using default here, default male. So if I do not give any gender, then it will automatically take male as the gender's value. And after I am going to take another value, another attribute, that is basic, basic salary, and it is of type integer, and check basic greater than 1000, semicolon, and bracket closed, and semicolon. Oh, something is wrong. My SQL version syntax not null. Sorry. Not I should have not given here comma. This is the error which I have to employee number. I shouldn't give. That's it. So my table is created. So see what is the structure of my table. Employee. So here this is the structure of my table, and now this is time to insert the data. So see here, I'm going to give data for all these 6 fields, and since I'm going to take only male members, so I'll have to discard gender this time while taking the values. So how to give value using insert statement? So insert into table name is employee, amp name, comma, designation, comma, DOJ, and then basic. So I am going to give the values in first 5 attributes, and we have to take the values corresponding to these fields. Employee number, say I have taken 1001, comma, the name is Narendra. Then I have to give the designation, say this is clerk, and after clerk I'm going to take DOJ date of joining. So here date of joining should be 2020 M is say 4 and date is say 24. So date is given, and after giving the date I have to mention basic amount, and basic amount should be greater than 5,000. So I'm giving 6,000 here, and my data is completed, and semicolon, employee, insert into employee. So one record is inserted. Now we are going to select all the columns of the table. So I'll have to say select asterisk from employee. So here this is the record, employee number 1001, and in the designation clerk, DOJ is this, and gender, it has taken gender am automatically, and basic which you have given, but see here I did not give the value of gender. I excluded gender here. After DOJ I directly took basic column, and this way I can insert the data. And if I am going to give another data, so I'll repeat. So to repeat the command, you can use up arrow key or down arrow key to repeat these statements. So this time I am going to take, and suppose I am going to take the same value or same record. let's see what happens. So it gives duplicate entry 1001, and that is why it is showing the error, as this is the primary key. Employee number is the primary key, and that is why it is giving the error. So I am going to take another value. Say name is, say, Ravi Kumar, and this is the accountant, and he joined on 10th of October with the salary, basic salary, say 8,000, and I'm just going to press enter again. Oh, sorry, again duplicate entry, so I have to change this entry again because I cannot duplicate the primary key. So second row is inserted. So there are two records, and this time I'm going to take F also. And since I have to use all the columns, so I am going to discard this, and after date of joining I am going to take female candidate, and amount, say 9,000, and this is the data entry operator, data entry operator, and name is Rina, and employee code, employee name number is 1003. Oh, some mistake is already there. What is the mistake? 10. Okay, data entry operator is giving the problem. So to discard this, and on data entry operator, I have to put within the quotes, and now this is okay, and enter. So select all from employee, and if I want to select individual columns or columns of the selection, select, for example, I want to take the name only, employee name, and gender. I can use only gender from employee. Okay, I can rename the column names, like employee name. I want to take it as name, gender as gender from employee. So in place of emp name, it will display name. In place of gender, it will display capital gender. So you can rename the column names. So hope you like it, how to insert data and how to select the columns of the rows of the table. So if you like it, kindly share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, kindly subscribe it so that you'll receive the notification of my videos as and when they are uploaded. So we'll meet in the next video. Till then, bye bye.